you think you are kidding, Mr. Putin? If you think we'll run and hide, we've got our boots laced up and ready, standing firm with stubborn pride. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Putin? If you think we'll run prepared, our hearts are strong, our will unbroken, every soul is battle squared. Your shadow creeps, but we see through it. Your bluster's just a hollow game. You may march, but we're not shaken. Our spirits roaring just the same. We've got our flags high, flying steady. Our voices loud, we'll make it clear. The world is watching, the line is drawn. We'll defend what we hold dear. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Putin? If you think we'll disappear, this land is ours and we're united. Every heart beats loud with cheer. So step away or face the thunder. This is a fight you cannot win. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Putin? If you think we'll let you win.
Jazz hands.
That is brilliant. I really like that.
Really good. Very good.
There we go. Something different to start off with. I'm not sure if we'll fly up loads more red flags with that, but we're here. Preppers Fireside once again. It feels like ages, like, a week. Barry, how you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Yes, all dried out from the Scottish meat and glad to be back. Just, yes.
Just. Brian, Scottish Prep 73, how you doing?
Oh, good, mate. After watching your intro, I wouldn't pick up any bottles of perfume outside your house if I was you. Anytime soon, that's for sure.
And Andy, the Bombardier, how you doing?
Yeah, all good, mate.
Excellent, excellent. And everyone in the chat, lovely to see you all. Miss Worm's in there from the very start. I'm not sure how long that intro will run for. It might just be a one-off, depending on how many death threats I get from our old Kelly Red friend. Right, we are here to talk about the Scottish meet that we had, a bit of a debrief, a bit of a chat, what we've learned, stuff like that. Your opportunity as well in the chat to get your questions in about, and your excuses for you guys that didn't show up. Time to get your excuses in now. We'd like to read them as well. But yeah, the Scottish meet. So we'll just go around the table first. Barry, favourite bits, best bits, highlights, standout moments. What was your favourite for that?
You drowning in your tent. No, sorry.
Literally, we had 3 minutes. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
No, really good to actually meet everybody in the flesh. It's all very well seeing somebody on the other side of a screen, etc. But when you get to meet somebody face to face, puts a whole new spin on things. And you know what? What a great bunch of people you are.
Who's he talking about, gents? Who's he talking about?
Right. What a
I
great
thought we
bunch
weren't
of
supposed to
people
do this drunk.
Thank you, Evil Girl, for the super chat for new batteries. I've got loads of batteries. That was just a random box that happened to have exploded. Brian doesn't need any more batteries. Brian, what was your highlights of the Scottish meet?
Pretty much the same as Barry, the social side. Although I've met you umpteen times before it, and we've had numerous chats on the fireside. It was the social side for me. The actual meet was fantastic. It was good fun. Everybody just gelled. It just worked.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So it just works. That should be the advert for the next one. Andy, you only came for a day, but what did you think while you were there?
Yeah, it was really good, mate. I had a really, really good time. Like I say, I'd never met anyone, so it was good to meet up, mate. Put some, just meet people in person. Really, I had a good chat with you all in turn. Got to meet Mrs. Scottish Prepper as well, which was good. I had a good chat with Brian, his wife, in the van. And then just mooching.
She's a lucky woman, mate. She's a lucky woman.
She is, mate. She is. And like I said, mate, just mooching about, and because I was only there for maybe 6 hours on the night time, so it was just going about, mate, and meeting everyone and getting a chat with everyone, putting faces to Discord names. and the few people that I met from Discord, mate. Yeah, but yeah, it's like same as the other guys because I was only there for the one night, mate. It was just a social side for me.
Yeah, it is definitely got to stay over next time. We can
Yeah,
witness
definitely, 100%. Yeah.
we might witness you actually being able to put a tarp up if you stay over next time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was definitely a 10-man job.
If it takes off, your tits will with it.
You picked it down that well, mate. You know what I mean?
You call me Chief Pegger?
You're gonna get great out there.
You know what the best thing about that was, right, mate? About putting that tarp up was using Hawkins's pegs. That was the best thing.
Hooking it all to his tent.
Yeah, pegging it to his tent. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was great moments. It was definitely fun. Barry, the weather though. I mean, I'm not going to go to Brian on this because he just rolled up, put his blocks down, and went back in and started playing Xbox like he does as the casual camper he is. Barry, we were there from the very beginning. I think we were the first two there. Well, there was other people already started, but they were sat in the car waiting to see if anyone else was stupid enough to start pitching tents. But took about 3 days for your t-shirt to dry out after that first day.
Pretty much, yeah. And the shorts and everything I was wearing to start with, and of course, every time it just looked like it was going to start to get dry, it started to rain again, didn't it? So, to say that the entire weekend was moist was an understatement.
Not the entire weekend, though. We ended with like great weather. It turned into the Caribbean.
As everybody's packing up, the sun comes out, and but hey ho, so did the midges. But there you go.
Question for Barry: the fuck is going on with your hair?
Well, it's just a work in progress. Let's just say it's been a lot longer than this. It's been a lot shorter than this, and at the moment, I'm sort of transitioning.
That sounds like you're talking about something else.
No. Not
Barry's transitioning.
You ought to
It's
be
been a lot longer
from Pepsi to Coke, mate.
Well, I thought I'd slum it and bring myself down to Mike standards.
Yep, he was drinking cola, and there was evidence and witnesses.
Yeah,
there we go. Shocking, absolute shocking behaviour. I would never stoop to that low to change sides.
Let's see.
We don't need to see. Right. The weather, Brian. I mean, no shock to you.
I thought it was all right, mate. To be honest, I didn't really find it a great issue. Although I did
there was no midges on the first night, right? That was the bonus of the weather.
It was too windy. Unless they were kamikaze midges, they wouldn't have come out. But when the sun finally showed its face at 12 on the Saturday, the combination of the wet ground, close to a river, and no wind, it was chomp time. Yeah. If only somebody had remembered to bring smidge. Oh wait, I did.
See, I thought I didn't need it, but for the last week I've been like, still.
Yep, you need it.
Yeah, you arrived when the weather was at its peak there, Andy. You missed the sunny times, but what did you think? Would you have fancied camping out in that one?
Yeah, I would have, mate. It all makes part of the thing, doesn't it? Just all makes part of the event. It would have been a good laugh. It was funny though, mate, because obviously when I left, because it was only 70 mile away from me. So when I left Newcastle, mate, it was glorious sunshine, which is why I had my t-shirt and that when I arrived. And slowly as I was driving up, the weather mate just got worse and worse. And as I was driving up and the weather was really bad, I thought, fucking hell, there's going to be some states here when I rock up. And like I say, mate, the weather was brutal. Absolutely brutal up there.
See, I'm not sure my tent actually leaked, or if just in the process of putting it up with the door flapping open, I've just filled it with water and not noticed till bedtime. Because at one point rain was coming this way. It's just...
I'll tell you what. Go on, mate.
You just need to remember to pack some water wings next time, Mike.
Yeah. Well, speaking of tents. Suburban Preppers is in the house. He had a lovely time with tents. We witnessed a lovely It was like a living room tent going up next to his sleeping habitat, and it went straight back down again, much to his dismay.
What was more, I'll tell you what was more impressive, mate, than Brighton's van. Hawkins, mate, genuinely looked like he was doing an expedition to Everest. The amount of gear he had and that tent he had, that North Face tent, which was like £1,000 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That man could have climbed Everest with all the gear he had.
Yeah,
Well,
and then set up a radio station on top of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
The £1,000 tent that somebody pitched a fire next to in the wind about 3 meters away from it. That tent.
It wasn't a fire, it was a rocket stove. It was perfectly safe.
It was a rocket that lit it.
You're questioning my camping skills and fire skills. Next meet, everyone make sure you give my tent and area a radius, okay? I'm not good with flames.
Mike, the fireball strikes again.
I'm just going to quickly look at the chat so we don't miss anything. A moist weekend, steady on, says Miss Worm. Does anyone think Putin wants to liberate us from Starmer? It would be a liberation, maybe. Sorry, go on, Andy.
One thing from the meet, mate. Obviously, everybody who was there, mate, knew us for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I appreciate no one knows Hawkins, but they all knew us for. As I was walking about talking to people, everyone was shouting, "No, you're right, Andy." I was like, "Yeah, you're right, guys." And the only guy, so shout out to Polonium. Polonium was the only guy who came up to me and said to me, "Oh, I'm Polonium, by the way." Everybody else was just like, "Oh," and I had to go and ask all. So, and I felt a bit bad, and I was like, "What's your Discord name?" So next time, guys, if you ever meet us at the meet, by all means, mate, come talk to us. But just say, "Oh, by the way, I'm Polonium," or "I'm," you know what I mean, whoever you are, discard. Because half of you have got mad pictures, like a picture of a cat, or you know what I mean, or something crazy. So I have no way of knowing who you are.
You should know them. You should know them.
Yeah.
Hi, Brian. How you doing? Hello, you. I have no idea what your name is. And then,
mate, everyone's mate. It's easy.
Throughout the conversation, you were trying to eke out details to see if you could remember somebody you were talking to. And I'm like, "Oh, yep, that's 10 minutes into the conversation. I know who you are now."
So there you go.
Next time
Everyone,
I'll just ask.
Introduce yourself and let us know. I mean, Polonium said I had a good idea. He said next time I might just have a flag because he's got the yellow smiley as his avatar picture. He said he might have a little flag that has that on it so everyone recognises. That river was great for the shotgun mic and the audio quality on the live stream, says JP. JP here. Big shout out to JP. Without Hi, JP, you know, we'd have been tarpless and gazebo-less and audio-less and
footageless because we never bothered to take any.
Yeah, this is what we've learned about ourselves, guys in the audience. We are all terrible YouTubers because, like most YouTubers, they'll go to the supermarket and be filming themselves. They'll film themselves doing everything. We just enjoyed the meat so much that we forgot to. I think I started. Me and Barry had a little mini interview while he was cooking, and then after that, just the phone got put away, and we were just enjoying the time there.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, mate,
wet for a lot of the gear.
Yeah.
All the stuff that, to be fair, mate, all the stuff that JP recorded, I think. What that did, mate, that was a perfect representation of how fun the weekend was.
Yeah.
Like all the bits he caught, mate, it was just awesome banter, mate, from start to finish. And that was the theme of the meet all over the weekend.
He's an absolute ninja as well, because there's a photo of me, a UK Prepper Man, and Viking Mitch under that tent with nobody else anywhere, because we were up till 3 a.m. drinking and talking. And he's got a snap of it, and I'm like, I never even saw you come out of your tent. So yeah, definitely a ninja photography skills there. So, Barry, what would you want to see more of? What would you like to see more of at something like the meet? How could we improve it in that way?
More people who turn up.
Oh,
for starters. Yeah, I mean, you know, we had such a great time. Those that paid and didn't turn up, you really did miss something quite special. And as I say, we enjoyed it that much. We've already organised the next one for next year. So Mike will give you the details on that later. Anything else we could sort of add to it? Better weather, maybe, but you know, that's a bit beyond our control. But other than that, turn up and enjoy yourself. You know, that's what it was all about.
Listen, I'm doing my best. I bought a Bible today, so I'm going to do my best for next one. So I'll try and call in some favours, but you know, I don't know how long it's going to take to make up for 40 years of sin, though. So. Brian, what would you like to see more of at the Prepper Meets?
I was going to say strippers until you said preppers meet. I don't know, mate. It's a tough one because
We can arrange it. We can...
Depends who's doing it. If it's you, no, you're all right. Although I've seen worse, but never mind, I digress. I don't know, because I genuinely enjoyed it from start to finish.
Yeah.
Even the shit weather and the wind, the humour that was, nobody was running about ranting and raving because things had went wrong. They took the piss taking and good, you know, I've did good humour on the day, regardless of the weather or getting eaten by midges or anything. It just worked. Like I said earlier, it just worked. See more of a chance to get round and talk to everybody.
Yeah. So more social time. Andy, would you like to see anything extra added to the Prepper Meets?
I think next year, mate, I'm just going to take a roll of, you know, those white labels. I'm going to take a big roll of them, and every time someone drives in and we go over to talk to them, I'm just going to say, "What's your Discord name or your YouTube name?" I'm just going to write it down a pair of mark and slap it on them, and then I know everyone is.
I'll buy you a roll of the red classic "Hi, my name is" and white box things.
And then I know who everyone. Then I know everyone is. Other than that, mate, I think, like Brian said, I would have. To be fair, mate, I think I got round everybody who was there for the short amount of time I was there. I think the only thing I would probably do, mate, next year is where my pitch is, I might have, weather permitting. I'll work my way around anyway. I think I might just set my kit out as I would use it. You know, like a bug out bag or that type of stuff. I'm just going to lay it out like a kit inspection that I would have done in the army.
Yeah,
I think walk around, mate, people ask me questions.
Yeah, I think the weather kind of pushed us together under them double tarps and stuff like that. But
to be fair, mate, that wasn't a bad idea. That wasn't a bad thing because it just made everyone socialise. That was kind of a benefit of a good benefit of the bad weather.
And then the second night, we all gathered round the camper love wagon of Brian's, so he couldn't bug off at 9 p.m. to go and play Xbox while we're all socialising.
I'll qualify that. I buggered off to play the Xbox because the rain was horizontal, along with the wind. It was freezing, and I thought, yeah, fuck them. Went in the van, put the lights on, shut the curtains, turned the heater on, put the Xbox on, and thought, wow, it looks cold out there. And
someone tried to pipe their diesel heater into Hawkins' tent.
I did move, though. I did move.
Yeah.
Another good thing, mate, about the meet, there was, how many women were there? Maybe 5 or 6, was it?
Yeah.
And there was one lady who came by herself, wasn't there? She arrived on her own. So if there's any women, mate, in the chat who are worried about going,
she was brand new as well, completely new to prepping. Yeah.
Well, I think wasn't she
not new to drinking, but she was new to prepping.
Wasn't she friends with Border Wanderer? I think
she was.
In the chat. Yeah. So if there's any women who are nervous about coming, don't be, because like I said, there was 5 or 6 women there, a few partners, and like I said, that lady who came on her own.
Camping King said, just a heads up, preppers, GPs across the have been notified they need to have personalised FFP3 masks to be fitted. A sudden urgency on masks being stockpiled. There we go. That's something.
A funny story. A funny story about that.
Go on then.
So when I was in my old job, which was support accommodation for homeless veterans, right? The guy who run the full thing had a contact at the time during COVID. You know, when nobody could get PPE.
Mm-hmm.
He found a contact, and obviously because we started going to work, so we're classed as key workers. He sent me the contact through email and said, "Look, he's got all the stuff. He's got gloves, masks, like the things you would wear. I can't think what the word they're called now. But you know,
apron things, yeah,
aprons, yeah." So he had all that stuff right, mate. So he said, "Look, there's the order form. Fill this in and just send it, and he'll get you the stuff." I was like, happy days. So I'm filling this form in, and next each thing, mate, so it would, like, I don't know, say like glove size large 4 or whatever, and I was filling this all in, right? I assumed that it was for boxes, right? And it wasn't, right? So it comes. So maybe about 10 days later, right? Bear in mind, it's in like a small estate. This articulated lorry comes driving down the main road, and I was out the back on my break, and he says, "Oh mate, I'm looking for XYZ." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's us." And he went, "I've got your PP in the truck." I'm like, "Oh, happy days." So as I'm walking the back truck, I'm thinking, "Well, he must be doing a few drop-offs. That all can be for me." And he pulled off mate 9 pallets, and he kept on going. And I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" I was like, "What on earth? This can't all be for me." And he's like, "Yeah, I've got you 4 me." I was like, "See where I've put 4 there? What? I thought that meant 4 boxes." And he's like, "No, mate, that means 4 pallets. So you've got 4
Oh dear.
You've got 4 pallets of gloves. You've got 4 pallets of gowns. You've got 10 pallets of masks." Honestly, mate, I had something like 75,000 masks. And I had them littered, mate, in boxes all over there.
There you go. Andy was the reason for the PPE shortage.
And when he was taking it off, I said to him, "Look, you're going to have to put it back on the truck. I've got nowhere to keep it." And he went, "Well, I can't." He said, "I'm not allowed to take it back. You have to take it." So it was something like 11 pallets I had of all this gear, and I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do with this.
eBay.
And I bulk as well. No, mate, and also there was like an old people's home at the bottom of the road, and they couldn't get PPE, mate, for love of the money. So I just went down to there, and the woman who ran it, I said, "Look, I've got 3 million masks, 23,000 aprons, 40,000 pairs of gloves. You use any of it?" And she was over the moon. Do you know what I mean? Because they had nothing, so I managed to offload most of it then. But every now and again, mate, you'll go in the cupboard and you forget, and there'll be like 3,000 masks just sat there.
Brilliant.
Excellent. You're the reason for the shortage, definitely. In the chat, Reese Foraker says we need a Devon meet. There is a Cornwall
There is one.
prepper meet. Yes, there's a Cornwall prepper meet. The details for that, go and search on Facebook for Midlands Outdoor Survival, or if you're on our Discord, go to the events page at the top. The details are on there. That's coming really soon, actually, so make sure you check that out quickly. They are all over the country. It's not just UK Prepper Network. It's the Midlands Outdoor Survival group, which we've kind of partnered up with, teamed up with. So yeah, we're just running them everywhere we possibly can. The meet looked like good fun. We'll definitely need to get to one this year. Yep, there's loads on, so like I say, go and check the event. Polonium says a bigger communal area would be good for next time. Yeah, he's right, especially if we get the... Listen, the next prepper meet, I'm going to post the link. Bang. There's the link for the Scottish 2026 prepper meet. Same location. However, end of August, so we're hoping for better weather. I mean, you know, it's still Scotland, so don't count on it. Still bring your wet weather gear and a tent that doesn't leak. It's key. Otherwise, you're all snuggling up with Brian. He wouldn't let me in. But
Too old for a bit. Too old.
I've never been called that. But yeah, so the Prepper Meets 2026, it's the end of August. It's the bank holiday weekend, so we're not just doing Friday to Sunday, it's Friday to Monday, so they get the extra nights, the more social time, more people doing talks, stuff like that. So it's going to be bigger, better than ever. I've literally put that link to the tickets on a day ago, 2 days ago. I can't remember when I posted it, but we've already sold 12 places, so they will go quick. There will be a limited number of places, so make sure you check that out and get in very early. I know it's a year away, but you don't want to wait 6 months and there be no slots left.
I've just bought mine, Mike, so that's 13.
There you go, 13. There we go. We're full. That's it. No. No, we've got both fields this time, and we will have better organisation. I'm gonna team up with JP beforehand and see what we can make sure everyone's. He's got a full podcast kit, so that's another thing to mention, gents. Hats off to all of us here. The first time somebody's successfully done a live podcast like that from a prepper meet, so. Well played for all the Fireside lads and for JP for helping out with the tech side of that. You know, other such popular Godfather preppers couldn't achieve it, even though they've tried. So we've achieved something there.
It's all fun and games till you wake up in my tent with a horse's head on it.
Yeah, but it drowned in mine, so.
You never show me the respect.
Perhaps a section on preventative maintenance for kit. Yeah, definitely. Open to suggestions. I think I'll put a suggestion box onto the Discord so people can get their ideas in. We won't be able to do them all, but we'll do as much as we can. What did we think, guys? I mean, the social side, we all said we enjoyed that the most. But
Yeah.
Andy, what you didn't see any of the talks, did you? You weren't
I
there for
watched
any.
them. I watched them on YouTube, mate.
Do you think having that
Right,
at Prepper Meets is a good thing?
Yeah, well, I assume everybody enjoyed them, mate. Who was there?
Yeah.
I think next year, mate. If we do it next year, I think I'll do. If you don't mind, if the people who will go to the meet want it, I'll do my bug out bags. It'll be a lot different to the one that was on show.
Yeah, I mean, UK Prepper Man says options and choices. That's what it is, options and choices. So yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, they look good, mate, and they look like those people asking questions, and everybody looked engaged with them. You know,
Yeah.
I think the only thing I would change, mate, I would have said, like I said before, if I did mine next year, I would then have all that kit laid out where my pitch was, so people don't feel comfortable asking questions in that big setting. They could come to me and talk to me one on one and say, Andy, what have you got that in there for? What have you got that there for? Have you tried? Do you know what I mean? You could have more of a personal, in-depth chat with people who wanted a bit more.
Yeah, all for that. Yeah, all for that, 100%. Happy Homestead said, where will the meet be? It's Bush of Views campsite, which is just north of Langholm. So Dumfries and Galloway, Midgie Central. So pray for good weather and bring plenty of smidge and hairnets and stuff like that. I've got myself I'm just going to walk around in a full body net. Do you know the nets for over the tents for the bivvies, Andy? The military nets. I'm going to wear one of them. I'm going to put two leg holes in.
Funny enough, I got given one of them last week.
Did you?
I got full body net, mate. Yeah. The only thing about the demos, mate, is good. Like I said, the videos Brian put up are great, and if you haven't watched them, guys, go up his channel and watch them. But how many are we just going to do the same demos every year? Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean will people have their core niches, right? If somebody comes to me and they're an expert in bushcraft and making fires and stuff like that, we could do a whole demo on that. So it's gonna vary up. And my idea is this will be to such a scale. This next one, we're talking about 4 times the number of people. So we're not going to have everyone huddled under one little tarp sort of thing. It'll be like, oh, if you're interested in solar, go down to Brian's pitch at this time and you'll see it. So there'll be things going on all over the place. And like you said, a bit more personal, so people can come to you while you're sat outside yours and go through kit ideas and stuff. So that's the idea. And I do like the fact that we were all gathered around. Brian, you did your presentation. How was that? And do you think it's a good part of the meets?
It is. I mean, it doesn't particularly bother me, public speaking, as it probably came across. It's something I do a little bit at work. However, it was difficult to know to what depth to start or stop, because I was conscious of some blank expressions and some people. So if anybody had an electrical or multi-skilled background, they would have been bored, or somebody that had no skills at all in electrical engineering would have been lost. So trying to strike a happy balance between boring the shit out of people and confusing people was difficult. But so it was just a kind of overlay of bits of this, bits of that, but not a great amount of depth. And
Maybe the next one you do 3 different talks on different times of days, and top level is pen, middle level is pencil, and then bottom level is crayon. So come to the crayon talk and I'll tell you.
Generally, the questions dictate the flow. So at the end of it, when I said, look, if you want to ask any questions, feel free. And not everybody's comfortable doing that in a social setting. Had the weather been better, I'd have had power banks and solar panels set up outside the van. And they could have come over in that stage and said, look, what's this? How do I do this? How do I do that? Can you explain this a bit more? Because not everybody wants to put their hand up and ask. I get that.
Yeah.
So, but no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. Were you nervous? Are
No.
you used to talking in front of people like that? Yeah. Yeah, cool. Barry, you didn't do any presentations, but you attended them all. What did you think of them as part of the meet?
Really good. Obviously, our friends from Moss, they obviously knew their stuff pretty good. So that was quite interesting. Picked up a few things that I might implement. Brian's talk, came across really good. Again, I picked up a few bits and pieces, asked a few questions, and got some cracking answers from him. So well done, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Storage Mouse says the only trouble is I didn't recognise Brian without a flashing light above his head. So
It's flashing now.
But I mean, yeah, that you made a good point of that with people recognising you, and it's just like, yeah, okay, they expect you to know who they are, so you just gotta introduce yourselves, guys. Introduce yourselves. So, anything stand out you'd like to see less of is a note I put on there because we all have to learn from these things. Was there anything you think we shouldn't do or avoid, Barry?
No, because we all know why we were there. You know, it was a preppers meet, so I can't think of anything that I wouldn't like to see there, other than Brian streaking or.
Nobody wants to see that. I can assure
exactly.
you.
Yeah. So I think that would be the worst thing I could possibly imagine. No, other than that, no. Everything. I quite enjoyed it.
Anarchy says, "What about the prepper games? Who can grab a bug out bag and make it 5 miles the fastest?"
You win. I give up.
There you go. I would love to do some more interactive stuff like that. And the good thing is with this new meet as well, it's going to be during the school holidays for the people in the UK, but not for the people in Scotland. Hence the reason we've been able to get the site for a bargain price. But in the UK, if you try and do a bank holiday weekend of camping at the end of August with your kids, it's going to cost you more than 35 quid the ticket is. So it's worth it just for that. Bring the kids along. There was a play park, and Brian was hogging it most of the time on the roundabout and stuff. But it is there. I'm sure Brian had a diet Pepsi with him.
One or two.
No, he had Coke Zero. We saw him drinking it.
Yep, Brian had Coke in his hand.
Andy, is there anything you'd drop or stop or not do for the prep meets or avoid?
No, I just think. So for me, mate, I appreciate I'm a lot further down my prep journey than a lot of people, and demos are important. But for me, mate, and I appreciate I'm in the minority here. I'm not too bothered, mate, about the demos. I'm not saying drop them, by the way, because I know a lot of people enjoyed them. But for me, mate, if people, I went, mate, pretty much to meet you guys and meet the guys off Discord and me. But that's all I went for. I went for the networking side, mate, and I went to have a chat with you guys, meet yous, to meet some of the people who come in the live chat. So, and I saw some people mention as well, they assumed because they weren't staying, they couldn't come.
Yeah.
And like I said in Discord, mate, I just went up from like 4 till 10.
Right. Well, the thing is, if that's something you're interested in doing, please let me know, because if you don't book a pitch, it's not like there was a big car park there or anything like that.
True,
so because you booked a pitch, Andy, so you had somewhere to park. So just we'd like day visitors and stuff like that, but it's not that kind of event site. So just bear that in mind. But you're welcome to book a ticket and then go and stay in a B&B or the Premier Inn down the road if that's how you want to, camp.
I mean, to be fair, mate, you know that someone said there about that grab bug out bag in 4 or 5 miles wins. I mean, I'm not about doing anything like that, but I mean, maybe, mate, if you had I know people like the idea, mate, of bugging out, don't they? I mean, if people wanted us to have a race in terms of you're all laid in your sleeping bag, so say for example, it's the middle of the day, you're laid in your sleeping bag, and for all intents and purposes, somebody bumps you in the middle of the night and you need to get out. How fast could you pack your kit away and see who wins that one? Stuff like that doesn't involve us running 5 mile with a bug out bag. You know what I mean? Something fun, mate, something daft that people might enjoy.
They used to do it in the in basic training where you tie the sleeping bags up and become worms, or pull it round yourself, and then you could be a ninja turtle as well.
Turtle, I was literally about to say ninja turtle, yeah.
I'll tell you how that'll go for me. I'll wake up in the van and go to the wife. Listen to those silly fuckers. Go to sleep again.
Sabotage is going to happen to you at some point in one of these meets, Brian. Is there anything you dropped, Brian?
No, no, not really, because I didn't have any preconceived notions of what it was going to be like. So it all flowed. The main thing was for me that there wasn't any arseholes on the day. Everybody just got along really well. There was no egos. There was no, my way's the only way. You're not a real prepper if you don't have a log burner. There was none of that shit. It was just a free exchange of ideas and a toolbox. You could either take that advice on board, offer a suggestion, or, a mix of between. But it was very much a toolbox you could take. I mean, I was scribbling things all through Roger's presentations, things I didn't know. I'm screenshotting it and Googling it. So I picked out bits that I wanted, and everybody else can do the same. They might think Brian's full of shit on that, but that might be worthwhile trying. Roger's thing there was a good idea, and I'll take that. So everyone was a little grab bag in itself for info, but you don't have to do all of it. You can just take what works for you.
Yeah, I watched you expanding your shopping list, and then Mrs. Scottish Prepper slowly glowering as it got bigger and bigger. This.
Yeah, you should have seen her this week when I bought those folding solar panels. Then it was the only time she properly got a bit nippy recently. Yeah. So yeah.
Fire lighting competition, says Snapdragon. Not a problem. Just stick me next to Hawkins Tate. I'll get one going. No problems at all. Having a whiteboard of the times of presentation was a good idea, says Polonium. Riff says, what about live demos with the dog, a raffle for Bite the Bad Guy? That you want to do something like that? Then I'll definitely volunteer Brian to be bitten. It's not a problem. Come on up and do that. That'll be great. You could have a day ticket. Like I say, it's a parking issue. It's not that kind of event place where we have the parking for that. Maybe we need to do a prepper festival at some point. That'd be an interesting one. Can I book a ticket, mate? No, actually, no. If I can make it 100% till May next year. Yeah, I mean, just send me a message. Suburban, we'll make sure that's sorted out. A dry bag sack race, says Polonium. Polonium's got all the ideas. Events coordinator.
That'd be fun.
Polonium was good company, and it was good to see him on the day as well. What a really nice guy.
And people travelled. Polonium came up right down from down south below London sort of thing, and people really travelled to get there, which was good to see.
I just want to echo what Brian said there, mate. Like every single person who went there was sound.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I was surprised, but you always expecting one, aren't you? You always expect one knobhead.
Yeah.
Some of them, but every single person I spoke to was.
If there wasn't one there, Andy, it was you.
To be fair, mate, if Hawkins was in the chat, he probably would have said it was me after I picked him. But yeah, mate, everybody who was there, it was really nice. We just sound people. Really good crack.
Most dangerous thing that happened at the weekend was Brian chopping wood. It was apparent as he doesn't have a log burner. Roger was on standby. I got a clip of that, which I showed in a short. Now, I started recording 5 minutes in that this was going on for, just to give everyone perspective on that. So, yeah.
Just to set the scene, I staged that whole thing.
All right. Learning was it.
The common misconception was that the axe was blunt. I was trying to chop my fingers off. I was hitting the knot. No. All of that shit was pre-planned so that you know what not to do. It was a course in itself. Don't do any of that.
The first thing he did was pull the axe out, put it aside, and I opened it up, and there was rust and a dent in it. I'm like, need some TLC this blade.
Do you know the best it is? You're no wrong.
Yay, Prepperfest, says Snapdragon. Just making sure I keep up with the chat. Any questions you've got for any of us guys, feel free to get them in as well. What did you think of the fireside, gents? That's what I want to know as well, because for me, I mean, I'll be honest, it was probably the most nervous I've been before doing a fireside, but it was
Really?
the most relaxed. It was the most relaxed I have been doing one.
Yeah.
Because JP was doing all that. JP needs to come and like work for me on every fireside because I don't have to go through the comments, clicking things, stuff like that. I could just sit back and enjoy the conversation. So for me, it was really good, and very surprised when I said give us a cheer. More than one person cheered, so it sounded like people were there, which was great. But yeah, Barry, what did you think of it?
Yeah, I've got to go along with what you said. A bit nervous because obviously we'd actually got a live audience there as well. It's all right having everybody in like a chat, but then when you've got everybody sat behind you, staring at you, it's a whole different ball game. So I can understand why you were nervous. I mean, I get flustered and I'm fully aware of that when I'm doing these kind of talks. And when we were live as well, I was aware I was doing exactly the same thing, but it's just in my nature, unfortunately. But overall, I think it went great.
Yeah, it was well received. It was definitely well received.
Yeah.
Brian, were you nervous at all doing that?
No, to be honest, that sounds really bad, but no, because it was good company, so I was quite relaxed. I was comfortable. I was enough amongst friends, and I was quite chilled. It was good.
It might have been different if we'd have done it on the first night, but literally we'd had a whole night socialising with his. So
Yeah, we'd got electrocuted.
Well. Yeah.
It'd have been different, all right.
Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say on the note that I literally took the words out of my mouth. I've said it more than once, and I'll say it again. The unsung hero of the whole event was JP, because there he is. If it was not for him doing the audio recording, the video recording, the drone footage, the event shelters, a lot of it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
It was. I cannot thank you enough.
Yeah. I reiterate that, JP. You still need to let me know which hoodie you want. Miss Word said, Fireside would have been helpful to repeat the questions from the audience as it was very quiet. I tried to do that a few times, but I didn't know how much people were hearing, so I didn't know if it was going to get repetitive. I think next time we'll have JP doing the tech and we'll get some glamorous assistant to walk around with a mic to pass it to people. That would be good. So I don't know who's going to be glamorous at a Preppers Meet, but you know.
Hawkins and heels. It even rhymes.
Don't Google Hawkins and heels, please.
Not until I get a chance to upload a Photoshop. Be like Frankenfurter out of the Rocky Horror Picture Show with a mask on.
Andy, did you tune in to the Fireside?
Yeah, mate, I watched it. It was good.
Yeah.
Like JP just said there, mate, the audio was a bit off, but the whole point of doing the first one, mate, was for a shakeout, wasn't it? Find out what works, what doesn't work. So for the next Fireside, mate, like you say, I would just offload all the JP. Then if anything goes wrong, it's his fault.
Well, it's just we can communicate between ourselves. I mean, it didn't help somebody who was moving house the day before the prepper meet, so I was about as organised as I usually am. So that didn't help. But I did have mics in there and stuff, but we'd have had to run them across the fire, which would have been interesting. Snapdragon, why was Barry sat on a barrel? Did he not?
That was a toilet. That was not a barrel. That was a toilet. Just so you know.
Did you not bring a chair, Barry?
I did, but the chair, unfortunately, is
I forgot about his chair.
It was more like a stool, and
it was that size.
It was tiny. I could not have sat for the entire fireside on that tiny thing, so I opted to bring the Yeti barrel across and sit on top
It'd have been like this.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, to put it in perspective, Suburban Preppers had a low chair as well, but his had arms and a back, so you were low slung, but you could lean back. Barry's was just a square of material.
I forgot about that.
It was like that. Yeah.
However,
chair for next time.
Anybody wants to know how to efficiently pack a vehicle, Barry is your man. Because I've never seen such a small car. It was like a TARDIS, the things that were... He built a whole kitchen out the back of this car. He had 2 tents because one pole snapped in the previous tent, and all the food, and a gift for me, which was awesome, but it completely packed out in this tiny little car. It was just genius. So
you.
hats off to the packing skills there, definitely.
What was the feedback on the live fireside? I don't know if MD's on the channel that was actually there. Did people enjoy being there and because you were taking part in it? I'm curious to know what they thought.
Anybody that I know, Polonium's in the chat tonight. Anybody who was there, let us know your feedback as well and questions and stuff. That's what it's here for.
We need to ask the Don because she's in there as well, so we need to know her thoughts.
Oh, if it was terrible, she'd have definitely told me. Don't worry. As a Yank in a kilt, I've got 2 pew-pews. What kind of legal defence tools are legal in the UK? Not much.
Nothing.
None.
Nothing.
A grape alarm. I'm going to say grape because YouTube doesn't like the other word. That's what you're allowed to have. You're allowed to have an alarm. So nobody can come to your rescue. But that's a conversation to have at a prepper meets, put it that way. When the cameras aren't rolling. And we all know who Hawkins is. Everyone, if you've seen Hawkins' face, you're part of a very special club.
Interpol by the sounds of it.
Yeah,
He nearly had a heart attack every time somebody had a camera out.
I think it was. I think it's.
Mate, that was so funny.
I think it's worldwide. And yeah, here we go. So, do you want to spot Hawkins? See if you can spot Hawkins in this little clip.
It's like, where's Waldo with tents?
Yeah, subtly the guy instantly hiding from a camera.
Look how good those tabs look as well. Look how good those tabs look.
I know, yeah. JP did a great job. Thanks. Yeah. Right. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked with the comments.
On the fireside, mate, the live fireside. I don't know. JP might know if you can do it. And I suppose if people are happy being on camera, it would have been good, mate, for the next one if you could turn the camera around and you could have saw the person who's asking the question. If they were happy with doing it, I don't know how.
Yeah, that's the problem. You'd have to seek permission beforehand and say if you're coming watching, you might be on camera. So maybe we could get some feedback of how many people would be interested in that.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, mate, if you the way I thought you maybe could do it was, you know, where you had the camera set up. And if you had like the microphone, like you were talking about earlier, if that person just walked into the frame and you held the microphone and they asked the question and then just went and sat back down, if you didn't want to, you could just ask from behind the camera.
Cue him up like a Charlie Kirk interview thing that he has at the colleges. Fireside was great. We'll better next time. 16-channel audio mixer, and we are sorted.
Well, and that will make it a movie set then, JP. So
it's honestly, it's JP. You're gonna have to actually move the van. The van that you got that doesn't do any miles. You're gonna have to load the van with the stuff. I'll remember my grape alarm for Midlands meets. Yes, it's when you need wine. You sound your grape alarm when you need wine. It was good listening to Storage Mouse was there. It was good listening to the Fireside Live and how well you four got on with the naturalness of it. There we go. So we don't just turn the cameras off on a fireside and go, "Oh, we hate you all. We can see you later."
Yes, we do. You know that's not true, Mike.
Oh, we love each other, Brian. It's fine. It's a live stream, not a movie set. Looks cold and windy. It wasn't cold. It wasn't cold, was it? I mean,
No.
I was in a water tent. It's a great new feature, and even I didn't freeze, sort of thing. You know, it was warm water at least. It was like I could bath my feet in the morning. It was great.
Mike woke up and there was a duck doing this across the bottom of his sleeping bag.
So it's a good job I got them at the inflatable bed instead of the camping roll, because at least I was like floating on the level of water in the tent.
Was it bad, Mike? How bad was it? Was it really bad?
It wasn't really bad. So like one side of the tent, luckily, had a divot already in it from the ground, so it all kind of channeled into there. But it was wet under my pillow and on the side of it, and it caught everything. But the bulk of the water channeled in.
Barry hadn't pinched your paw, laddie, after his shot.
No, I mean I didn't get until like 3:30 after drinking on that first night. So I did question myself and like had a little sniff of this water and make sure.
It wasn't a Friday night special.
Yeah. Did I think this was a bathroom at some point? I have the battle trailer now since the fireside. I sent Brian photos. So there you go. We did discuss streaking, says Polonium, how to get us banned completely. What did you think of the site itself, Barry?
I think it's a great site. I mean, the facility is a little bit basic for the number of people that were going to be there, but other than that, yeah, it was great. Plenty of space, beautiful scenery. If anybody wants, to have a look at the site, Google it. They've got their own Facebook site, etc. So have a look. It's a brilliant site. I'm well happy to go back again.
Yeah. You think the site was all right, Andy?
To be fair, mate, I thought it was perfect for what we wanted.
Yeah.
I thought it looked extremely well looked after, mate, from when I was there. Toilets there. There's even a shower there if you wanted one. And like I say, everything was well looked after, mate. All the pitches were set out properly. You even had that middle stretch. Where you guys were set up at the top. So yeah, it was perfect, mate. It was gravel path to get your car in and out. It was spot on, mate. For me, I had no issues with it. I thought it was a good find by you.
Yeah,
Brian, the people as well, mate. The people as well who ran it seemed really
Lovely
happy
people.
there.
Yeah,
there was sound, mate. They were like to say everything about the event, mate, was just good people. That's the main takeaway. Everybody was sound.
So Polonium stayed on after we all left, sort of thing. He had a couple of a day or two extra, I'm not sure, but he stayed on, and the owners came and spoke to him afterwards, and it's like no one's been here. It was absolutely great. They loved it. This is what I try and convince when I'm approaching all these different sites to try and do prepper meets. As soon as you say a group thing or an event thing, they're like the alarm bells. Because did you see this? The state of Glastonbury, the crap that's left behind yet again. That's what was in their mind. I'm trying to convince them this is 60 people that believe in Leave No Trace. Brian, how was it for you in the land yacht?
Well, lovely site, nice people. If you can find, I think it was like 25 quid we paid for that. It was aye, that's about right. I'll come back to that. But fuck it, I'll do it now. So Mike rocks up outside the van with a power bank like that, and he went, "Here you go." As I'm watching the water pissing out the bottom of it, I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, I had a bit of a leak. I'm like, yeah, all over the top of the fucker. It was looking like that. Here you go, and it was just the sad little drips coming out of the bottom. I was like, really? You bastard.
I blame Hawkins. He went to bed early and he said, someone needs to be responsible for this, because I told Brian I'd keep it in. And it was keeping the lights going under the gazebo. I said, I'll take it, no problems. But it would have been drier leaving it out there.
Yeah, it'd have been better taking its chance with the fishies outside. But no, the site...
Gaz.
Throwing them under the bus there. As somebody who uses campsites a lot and the ridiculous prices that you get charged, if you can find a site that you get a pitch for a couple of people for 25 quid for 2 nights, you're doing really, really well. It had beautiful scenery. The toilets, basic but clean, right?
Very clean, yeah.
Yeah, they had animals there that they were happy for you to go and see. So if you had brought any of your kids along with you, they could have been kept occupied with that. And the owners were nice people. They were happy to chat to you. They were approachable. So it was a bargain. It really, you'll never get a site like that for 25 quid for a couple of nights. I'll tell you from experience, you'll never get it.
Yeah. And they're building more toilets and shower blocks and stuff. They're increasing the facilities before the next prepper meet, so that's going to be even better. So they're going to have some up the top end as well. So that's really good. And like I say, the feedback they gave us was good. So yeah, it's awesome. It's great. Should be a regular venue.
Did you see them walking the goats through the pitches?
There was they were like sheep things. What were they? I thought it was an alpaca at first, but it wasn't. It was like a weird mountain sheep.
Yeah, they said they got 2 pedigree sheep that they're planning to breed off, and those are the ones with the curly horns.
Yeah,
them two.
Yeah, so I thought it was look at the size of the neck on that sheep. It's like it's hench. Mark said, yes, £25. Yes, Brian, exactly. And £35 for the weekend. Excellent. Will be coming ticket orders. The £35 is purely based because it's an extra night. So if you booked on there, let's just total transparency. I think Bush of Views is between £15 and £20 a night usually. We get the rate because we're booking the whole thing. So if you're thinking of it as a holiday, it's still worth it. It's still a nice site, but it's not quite £10 a night based on that. So just so you're fully aware. Yeah, but the end of August, full 3 nights. That should be fun. Hopefully we don't have the rain. Right. I know we've kind of said best bits and what thingy, but I want to spitball between us. How could we improve the overall experience for both new preppers and veteran preppers, as it were? This is an open question to the panel and to the people in the chat. What would you like to see? I mean, because the schools of thought of, you've got a prepper meet that's been going for a while in Wales, which is just turn up, camp, and you might get to meet a couple of people if you're lucky. You've got the prepper meets that we're doing and the Midlands Outdoor Survival's doing, which you will learn something. You're guaranteed to learn something. The social side is practically compulsory if you don't join in. And then you've got things like the Bushcraft Show, which is a big event thing, which is loads of stuff going on all over the place. So it's kind of what direction do we go with this? So any thoughts, gents? Anyone wants to jump in how we could improve the overall experience for people?
It's difficult in terms of logistics to what you can bring. I mean, the RCMA van was sitting on the spring assisters with the amount of power banks and stuff I brought. It was, that's no lie, it was a lot of weight, which is fine, I don't mind doing it, but there's limits to the amount of gear that you can carry. Barry's car was full to the gunnels. GP looked like he'd robbed an electric shop. So it's difficult, but if we knew in advance what people wanted to see, everybody can bring little things to the party. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of material to show somebody how to feather a stick with a knife. How to start a fire and different methods to start a fire. It really depends what people want to see when they're going, because everybody assumes knowledge. I assume you know how to start a fire. I assume you know how to wire up a plug. And if you had 50 people in a room and said, who knows how to wire up a plug, everybody would put their hands up. If you said, does anybody not know? Nobody's going to say, I don't know, because they don't want to be that guy. But if you had a practical demonstration that they could go along to and see, but without making it, you must be here at 1 o'clock, and if you don't, we're going to come and round you up and force you in a tent. It wasn't like that, and it shouldn't be like that. Yeah. That's just my take, sorry. That's just my thoughts.
Logistics-wise, we could definitely sort stuff out. I mean, if I've got to hire a van, I've got to hire a van. If it's stuff like that, then I've got to do... I plan to book it for myself for an extra day before and an extra day after this time, so I'm not late to the party. You know, thinking I'm going to be there first, and then some 6 foot or tall guy knocks on my shoulder at a service station going, all right, Mike.
I suppose it depends what people wanted to see. The feedback would be better from the people that were there. Was there anything that you thought you were going to see that you didn't see? Yeah. Or you would have preferred to see more of? Because I'm assuming a lot without asking.
Yeah. We've had 6 bookings. You can't see that. We've had 6 bookings during this live stream. So,
I think what, like I said before, mate, I think for the next one, I'm gonna have stuff set up, and people can just come and talk to me whenever they want. And the reason why I want to do that is so, because I know people won't know this, but I'm into UFOs and stuff. So when I got UFO conferences, the people you always want to, well, I do anyway, from my point of view, the people who you go to watch, you always want maybe 5-10 minutes with them. Yeah. Just to have a personal chat with them. And I don't want to sound big-headed, but if people are coming here and they want to talk to any one of us four, and you want that 10 minutes with them, I think that would be easier if I just had all my stuff set up and it's just a win.
Go to Andy's tent and get probed.
Are we setting it up like Comic-Con, like we're all behind a table and you've got to come and pay a $5 to get a Polaroid with Andy?
But to be fair, if you pay me a $5, I'll give you a Polaroid of Hawkins, so you know what it looks like. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, but I think that would be, like I said before, if people aren't comfortable. And if we, especially if we want to make it bigger for you and want to encourage more people to come, if you could just come and see me whenever you wanted to, and you didn't want to talk in a big group. Do you know what I mean? And you could ask me what that particular bit of kit, what my idea is behind that, or how do you set this up, or you can have more of a one-to-one basis. That's what That's what I want to do moving forward.
Yeah, definitely. Any other ideas, gents? I'm having a look through the chat, just if you guys have got anything to shoot them out there. It might not be something we do this time. It might be something in a few preps time or a few meets time. But
Polonium's put a good one in the chat. How about an introductory session on the first morning? That's the one. Yeah, so
good idea.
Yeah, brilliant idea. So everybody sets up the night before. First morning, quick introduction, half hour. Everybody gets to know sort of like everybody's faces, and then you'll know who you want to go and see and who you don't want to see.
Yeah, I mean, you want total honesty? If you look at the original schedule I had that down, but people arrive all the way through that first day. So, but it might be a good thing for Saturday morning, like for the first morning, especially if we're there for an extra night on the thingy. But yeah, I like it. An introductory session to all the people that will be doing talks and people you can go and approach, etc. So yeah, I like it. Good idea. I think if Brian reverts to playing his Xbox, we should have a competition to see what angle we can rock his van when he is inside each meet. It will be like adding a world record book.
Yeah, I wouldn't fucking recommend that.
If you can catch high velocity power banks, you'll be all right.
This is another point, mate, of why you need to come to the prep meet. So there's a guy there who's put, if SHTF, how do you plan on keeping your preps yours?
Yeah.
You can't talk about any of that, mate, on YouTube. And nor would I want to. But if you go to the prepper meeting, you're talking to somebody one-on-one, in that secure setting where you all know each other are, that's the best chance, mate, you're going to get of talking about things like that. No one in the right mind, mate, is going to talk about anything like that on here, because you know what the repercussions are. So that's if you are interested in that side of stuff, you need to get yourself to the prep meets and talk to people face to face if you want any info like that.
100%. I mean, you guys at home saw the staged fireside as it was, which ran really well. Great, no problems. Everyone broke off and got something to eat and what have you. But later on that evening, we all gathered around the same fire, and that was genuinely a prepper's fireside. I mean, I'm not saying the topic of conversation was all prep related. Most of it was Brian trying to avoid getting hit by his missus for all the jokes he was saying. But it was still a good opportunity. If you wanted to know about stuff like that, you could easily.
I had a great laugh.
Yeah.
I genuinely never stopped laughing all night. I thought it was funny.
I expected you to come onto this stream with a black eye. That would have...
Listen, you've seen how lucky she is. I don't know why, but there was a lot of people.
Saint.
every second word they said to my wife, I don't know how you put up with him. That was every other person.
The best of it was her reply was just a smile. It was just.
She knows what side her bread's buttered. That's why, Barry. It's fine.
I was worried for you at one point because Mrs. Scottish Prepper and Mrs. JP were both looked like they were plotting Brian's death at one point.
I answered that for a few people. I said I'm relatively safe. Sorry, mate. On you go.
The most important thing, mate, have I convinced you to go to Nashville, not Florida? That's the big question.
No, we're still going to Florida, but I think I'm going to get dragged to Nashville.
Tennessee's awesome. Tennessee's go to Nashville. Yeah, 100%.
I quite fan. Well, Donna fancies it, so I'll probably get dragged to that. But we're away to Florida in September. We're doing a cruise in December. We're doing another cruise in May, and then I'm going to do a cruise in January.
Yeah. How the other half live, eh? May as well go to Waitrose with Dave.
I've done like you're still a bit younger than me, and when my kids were younger, mate, I know what it's like.
A bit.
It's a struggle, and I've been there. It's only now that we're getting a bit older, the kids are older, our jobs are a bit better, that we can do stuff. But you
did something I've not done, Brian. You stopped having children.
Yeah, I'd have stopped it. I'd have stopped at 0.
Oh well, that's a story. That's a conversation for off the camera. Question: Brian video buying property which already has solar. What to check and look for? There you go. He's. I think it's a video suggestion. He's asking for Brian.
All right. I thought it was a question to answer the now.
No, I think he's asking for a video.
Yeah, for a video, mate. I think
I'll just answer it.
All right, go on. You want to answer it now? It's a solar answer, so everyone bed down.
If it's a if it's a house that's had solar for a while, he's a rude cunt. Honestly, you can go fuck yourself. If it's a property that's had on the old feed-in tariff, that'll transfer to the new owner, I believe. Your solar panels should be good for 25 years. Your batteries, depending on manufacturer, probably 10 years. So it depends. It really just depends on what they've got in the setup. If it's a hybrid inverter, if they've got batteries, if it's only solar. But the key question is, are they on the old feed-in tariff, in which case you'll make a lot of money, or if you're on SEG, which is the new one, which is pretty shit.
So a good thing, he says what to check and look for. It'd be good to do is like basically ask them when were the batteries put in, when was the solar put in. So
the paper trail.
Yeah.
The paper trail, have they got an MCS ticket, have they got an export, an M-plan number, that kind of stuff.
Hawkins is in his bunker, adding you all to his list.
he's in GCHQ.
Mapping all our locations. I don't know if this is a suggestion for the prepper meet, but nobody wants to see this.
Trust me, when we're in the house, she doesn't want to see it here either, so she doesn't want to go and see it at a prepper meet.
Does anyone know butchery? Perhaps see if we can obtain a couple of recently dispatched rabbits or whatever. Ooh,
that's
that
a good
would be a
idea.
demo. That's a really good idea.
Do you know what would be good? See if Boo could make it and do cannon. How good would that be?
Yeah.
Well, you can put the pressure cooker if you got the right one on a campfire, so that would.
Although to be fair, but you know what, at the campsite they have chickens, don't they?
Yeah.
Can we not just see if we can buy some of them?
I thought you were just
Should we
gonna
buy
say-
some of your hand-reared chickens?
What's that guy doing with our chicken? I'm just swinging it. It just relaxes it. Don't worry. Don't
My
worry.
God, they've killed Wilbur. Banned. Then 2 seconds later, the pressure cooker on the fire incinerates 40 people. It's going to be a good one, isn't it?
If you see Andy at the prep
The
meet,
best thing is I just tell everyone I was called Hawkins.
yeah.
They believe me because I don't know what it looked like.
Literally, he's got that "My name is" badge. Hawkins written. If you do see Andy at a prep meet walking along, swinging a chicken to relax it, carrying a stick, then if you're squeamish, turn away.
So if Andy's walking along with the cock in his hand, we have to avoid him. Is that what you're saying?
I knew that was coming as soon as he said that.
That's what she said.
There goes the advert monetization. Thank you, Evil Girl, for the 2 super chats to make up for Brian's swear box. I appreciate it.
It was a legit answer.
Maybe you could do with a huge parachute or tarp for the group to get together. It won't be depending on weather. Well, Viking Mitch and the Midlands Outdoor Survivor Group have this. They have a big parachute that they set up and stuff like that. So I didn't give them enough notice to bring it. It was all a bit chaotic, but they will have that at the Midlands one, and I'm sure if we speak to them, they'll be able to organise that for
To be fair, mate, my new job is still. Anyway, mate, I'll see if I can. Where I work now, I might be able to get us hold of a parachute for next year.
All right, okay.
So if we can have our own, I'll just keep it here. Brian knows what I'm on about. I'll just keep it here, and then we'll just roll out when we do our prepper meets.
That was
Sounds
funny.
good.
My new job. Oh fuck! What was it? I might be able to hypothetically. Oh fucking hell!
It's literally watching the P45 print out in front of his own eyes as
Wasn't
he's
it?
talking.
He'll come off the live chat and he'll be like, "Darling, I'm fired."
Off-grid comms talk may be worth a shout. We had one scheduled, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances. That was cancelled through nobody's fault. But that will be on the cards definitely for next time. And the same guy will be there to answer all your questions on that side of things. Right, we've got 112 people in here. Get your questions in the chat now. Any questions you want, whether it's regarding the meat, prepping, anything you want, get them in now, because we're going to go around the table and find out about all of these guys' channels. and they're going to tell you why you should go and subscribe, as Miss Worm puts the links in there. So, Andy, go. Tell us all about the Bombardier.
Yeah, so it's predominantly gear reviews, prepping from a military side, but not from a gung-ho infantry side that you get a lot doing. A lot of my stuff is more, I would say, it is military stuff, mate, but a lot more civilian application. So you can probably see that there. So that is the new the modular sleep system. So I've got the liner, the inner and the outer, which is there, and the bivy bag. So that'll be going up next week once I get to test that out. So that's all my stuff, mate. And I'm going to start doing, mate, stuff on the channel about more of the stuff that I did when I was in terms of, because I know a lot about missiles, because my career was firing missiles, and I fired them in Israel, I fired them in Afghanistan, and a lot of what's going on in the world now is missile related. I'm going to do a lot more stuff on that, mate, breaking down difference between a rocket and a missile, what missiles can do what, and all that type of stuff. So if you're going to be interested in that, guys, moving forward, that's what's on my channel.
There you go. So go and check
Excellent.
out the Bombardier and show his stuff some love. Barry, Brown Coat Prepper UK. How's your channel going? What's next? And why should people go over there?
It's basically a channel from a novice prepper just starting out, and the highs and lows, pitfalls, and strange experiences he has along the way. Simple as that.
There you go. There you go. Brian, tell us all about Scottish Prepper 73.
I seem to have segued into a niche that revolves around what I think might be the primary threat axis that we might face, as in deprived of power for short, medium, long-term duration, and various ways that you can mitigate the effects of that, since we depend on it so greatly. So that'll involve factoids on things that are happening in the country, things that are happening in the world that we might want to be aware of, and also gear reviews, different types of power banks, solar panels, domestic, camper van, and power bank related.
There you go. So definitely the niche is there: power banks, Pepsi, and pies.
Also, as well, mate, on that, Brian, mate, now pumps out 2 videos a day. So if you're up for, he all says he's a lazy YouTuber, but he pumps out 2 videos a day now. So get
Only when somebody else
Brian,
makes them.
so get yourself over and subscribe to Brian if you want loads of videos.
And if he starts pumping them out, then you just email him. He replies within the say a few hours. If you email him, if he doesn't reply, it just means he doesn't like you. So just make sure he replies straight away. So.
Oh look, they're doing it again. I hate when that happens.
Mr. Bishop's Lifestyle says, thoughts on bugging in. I'm trying to understand that the event of civil unrest or breakdown of government, surely bugging in is the first few weeks and then bugging out if, say, a militia takes over. So this came up at the meet because they showed bug out bags and stuff like that. And everyone wants to bug in. I think all of us here are bug in primarily. And only if you're forced from your home, that would when you look to bug out. What's your thoughts on that? If it's like a militia and stuff like that, we'll go to you first, Barry. Are you ready to bug out if you're forced out of your home? If it's something like that?
Yeah, but it will be, as I say, that one of the last things I want to do, because obviously bugging in is what I'm primarily all about. But at the end of the day, if the military come knocking on the door and it's a case of you being forcibly dragged out or removed, then yeah, there's a plan in place for other locations to go to.
Yeah. Brian, what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts have always been bugging in would be your preferred choice first and foremost, because if you have to bug out, you're losing a lot of gear. Most of us are going to lose 90% of your kit in a flash if that's the case. However, you've got to have a no bullshit appraisal of you and the weakest link of your party. Can you put on this backpack and walk for miles and miles? Great. What about your granddaughter? What about your wife? Hi, Lee. You've got to have a no bullshit appraisal of your whole party size. It doesn't matter if you do marathons. If somebody has got a couple of kids at 5-year-old, I mean, you've got to think of these things. But it might happen. I mean, if you were in a civil unrest situation, for me, I could have the house on either side burnt out. Doesn't matter what I've got in the house. If they want you out, if they can't get you, if they can't get in, they can get you out very easily. Just burn you out. So you might have to be bugging out. So you have to have the kit.
Yeah. Andy, we've discussed it on like scenario based stuff and things in the past, but what's your thoughts on what he was saying about if there was a militia starting to form after a few weeks of bugging in? Is there a time you need to bug out even if you're not under direct threat?
I mean, to be fair, mate, in that exact scenario, if it was a militia, I'd just join militia.
Andy's at the front.
I am, mate. Like, honestly, mate, in that terms, I would rather be inside the tent spitting out than outside the tent spitting in.
It's true.
So,
it's true.
And if there is a militia, mate, and they come to my door, I'm going to say, well, I'm ex-military. I've got X, Y, and Z things to give you. I'll join the militia, and then I'm staying put. Now, if I appreciate that's not the answer he wanted, is it? So if I'm bugging out, mate, I'm bugging out to some more hard standing. I'm bugging out to another house. I'm bugging out to a shop. I'm bugging out somewhere, mate, that's hard standing. Nowhere in this planet, mate, am I bugging out to the woods or anything like that. Because it's just not. It's not feasible. Because I know how hard it is to do it on a long term basis. And if it was, if the military, mate, are coming door to door and they're forcing you to go, you can't between a rock and a hard place, and you're going to have to go. Now, if I'd
go,
yeah. So, and if I left, I wouldn't really be leaving me any kit or equipment. All I would be leaving behind would be my food and that type of preps. Albeit that's a big part of my stuff, and I would be gutted. But that would only be in the privacy of me. I would go to whatever holding place they're taking us. So, for example, it was St James's Park in Newcastle. Once we got there, I would assess the situation, and as soon as I could, I'd probably leave.
If I got to St James's Park in Newcastle, I'd assess the situation.
Yeah, of course you would.
Set fire to the fucking place and watch it burn.
So that would be that would be my plan, mate. I would go where they wanted to, mate. Then I would just leave. That would probably be my. And like I say, mate, I'm never bugging out, mate, to Ruralville and live in a tent or a tarp for an extended period of time. I'm going to somewhere else. Whether be you break into a house or when you live in a shopping centre or...
I would say that you should practice these things. You should do it. You should try it. And then realise how hard it is. And this is why we do prepper meets, not just for the social side of things, but to test your gear, right? I'm turning up with tents that I've never even tried before. It's ended up in the bin, of course, but this is how you test gear. I mean, Barry, you had a pole snap. I mean, if that had have happened when you were in a bug out situation, what a nightmare. But this is the point of the meets, to test stuff. So if you are thinking of bugging out at any point, please do it. Please test it. If you're in Scotland, you've got the added bonus that you can wild camp in a lot of places. There's only one or two places. I think they've just let you do it. All of a sudden, they've lifted the laws at Dartmoor, I think, in the UK. But either way, even if it's booked on a campsite, just try it in all weathers and, get used to it. You should have the skills to do it. Nobody wants to do it, but if you're forced into it, you want to be learning now when you can say, sod this, I'm going to an Airbnb, not when you're in complete SHTF.
I mean, maybe that would be a good thing, mate, for the prep meet next year. If I because I've still got a Bergen, if I fill my Bergen, mate, with everything that you would need to survive for 72 hours, and you see how much weight is in it, I'll bring it to the prep meet. Maybe we mark out 100 meters. You can come, put the Bergen on, and see how much effort it takes to walk 100 meters, and then you can gauge whether you think you can live out of that for an extended period of time.
I mean, full respect to like the MOS lads and Stay Mental Survival. He's a good friend of mine, but when he put that pack on, I was like, yeah. That's a lot to carry. I mean, they've optimized it, and he's got it, the load distribution great, and he thinks he has done like hikes with it, but that's only through training and longevity. So yeah, it's a good idea though, Andy, definitely. A great Gala says, does being in the militia get you Pepsi? Not in mine, in Brian's maybe, but
Viva la revolution.
Thank you for the £5 super chat, though. It really helps when Brian's on. JP, download an audience survey map of your area and you'll find woods. Because I think, JP did say, where's anyone bugging out to? This is the problem we've got in the UK, right? Nothing's like the great wilderness. But I suppose if we are 3 or 4 weeks down the line, then natural selection might have took a lot of people out. So you might get a bit more remote areas, but still. Even when I was doing my hike in the most remote parts over the Pennines and stuff, you still saw a car every so often or somebody in the distance. It wasn't, you were never alone, and that was in peacetime. So it's where to is the question. But loads of good suggestions in there as well. I used to have a sign on my door saying you may break in, but you can't get out.
Like and also, like, you know, like when we were just talking about there with the Bergen and the weight it would, like you were saying there about state metals and how heavy it is. Everybody assumes as well, mate. So you're and I know you can't do anything about it, so it's not a dig. But you're practicing carrying that weight in peacetime under no stress. There's no outside factors caused you any issues. You start wanting to carry that weight when you've only had one meal over 3 days. Then it becomes a whole new ball game, which is why I'm a big advocate of not living outdoors because it's hard, and it's not. It's not doable, really, for the majority of people, which is why we always promote bugging in.
Yeah. People can do it, and what I liked as well about Roger's demonstration is he knows his age, he knows his family's abilities, and he preps to that. So he's got a giant trolley to pull that along with and stuff like that. So prep to your means as well, 100%. Preparing the path, light discipline would be key to civil unrest, 100%.
I liked Roger's presentation. The quiet, calm confidence, how he delivered his presentation. What a really, really nice guy and approachable throughout the meet. If you ever get a chance to go to the Midlands meet or the next Scottish Prepper meet, go and chat to the guy for 5 minutes. What a lovely man.
Yeah. There you go. A big shout out to Roger. He does demos at all of these meets off his own back. You know, nobody's paying him or anything like that. He just wants to share the knowledge. So yeah, big shout out to him for that. Mel's in the house. Mel was at the meet as well. It was great to meet you, and his little dog was awesome. Subterranean Britain is a good site for underground tunnels and bunkers. Again, think about that as well. If you've got a ROC post, or there's an ROC post, 2 miles that way I can get to. How many other people know that that's there? How many other people are going to try and get to it? And at the end of the day, it's not designed for modern warfare. You are just burying yourself. When my meds are gone, I won't be far behind. There we go. With Mike asking about first aid kits, I found out I need to up my kit. Maybe not being as clumsy will help. Yeah, I mean, quick question around the table. Barry, did the prepper meet give you anything that you took back and it's changing how you're prepping? Are you doing anything extra? Did you learn stuff that you're actually adapting now?
One of Roger's talks on one of his first aid kits, I noticed he got some airways in his kit. And I asked the question, what sizes do you carry? And obviously that prompted a question, an answer.
From here to here, let's
measure it.
That was brilliant.
The old sizes and everything. Now, I mean, I work in a medical environment, and I didn't know about getting the sizes from that. I learned something. That's a big help. I'm now adding airways into my kit. So, yeah, I mean, Roger's talk was good, and I learned something from it. So, yeah.
Brian, you made a big shopping list. Is it changed your thoughts on the bugging outside of things, or is it just some extras nice to haves that you're looking at?
First aid for the home and first aid for being out and about in your camper or being out and about in your car going to work. It's always good to tweak it when you get good advice. So if I see good advice, I'm going to take it, and he had a lot of good advice to take. I picked up a few things to order and add to the kit.
Yeah. Blonium said agreed. He was pitched next to me with his wife, a lovely couple. They were great the whole time. And if you want to know what we're talking about, make sure you check out Scottish Prepper 73's channel, because he's uploaded the full talk on the medical one and the bug out bag one, I believe, and your own.
Two of
You've
them.
done all
Two of them.
Yeah.
Four.
So he's uploaded them, so go and check them out and you'll see. And I'll tell you for free, I've seen Roger's presentations before. It's different every time. He teaches you something different every time. He did a whole tourniquet, he put it on someone's arm and showed you how much you have to tighten it, or one of them I did. So it will change. So if you've seen it, don't think, well, I don't need to see it again. I watch it every time. I learn something every time. Trust me.
I learned something about tourniquets that I didn't know as well. I thought you could slap a tourniquet on anywhere. I didn't know you could only have it like up here, or on the thighs. I had no idea that you couldn't like slap it on a wrist or something. I had no
Single
clue.
bone. Yeah, single
I
bone.
thought you
I
could
had
put it
no
around the
idea.
neck.
Aye. They've stopped bleeding. Oh shit, and breathing.
This'll stop your nosebleed, love. This'll stop your nosebleed.
Run to the light. No, but I genuinely never knew that about the two bones and single bones. I'd never been taught that. I never knew. So for that alone, it was worth going.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm out of questions in the chat unless you guys have spied any. Good prep I found is carbolic soap. It's good for hygiene and washing clothes, antiseptic and antifungal. There you go. This is the best thing about this fireside, this channel, all these guys' channels, is the community. Is we learn more from you than we could ever impart on you, which is great, which is what it's all about. And as I say that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people booked onto the 2026 Scottish Prepper Meet during this live stream, which is absolutely awesome.
Awesome.
Which, you know, the numbers are filling up fast. We're gonna have our work cut out for us, lads, next time for this next one. JP, get rested.
It's like the bat signal. You just put a JP silhouette up onto the sky.
Get someone to bring common foraging type foods some of us may not be aware of. Yep, definitely. There's loads of people
Good idea.
foraging. To be honest, Roger, who we've just talked about, always says to me, is there anything else you want me to demo? He does all of it. He does the fire lighting, stuff like that, water filtration. We probably can't land it all on Roger's lap. But here's a call out to you. If you are an expert in your field, or you know something about your field, like canning, like food preservation, like butchery, anything like that, and you're interested in doing a demo at the Scottish Prepper Meet, and you've booked on, just send me a message and we'll sort it out. It's about sharing knowledge between all of us. This is not a show. This is not our show that you're all coming just to watch us. Everyone's involved. So if you've got something you can share with the community, teach people, then by all means, please send me a message. We'll get something scheduled in. The more people doing it, the merrier. And the same goes for the Midlands one. If you contact Viking Mitch because you're an expert in a certain thing and you want to demo it, he'll be more than happy to cater for that. Storage Mouse 2 says we should have Miss Worm doing late night reading around the
That's
campfire.
a good idea.
That's a banging idea.
There we go, Miss Worm. The pressure is on. The pressure. If nobody knows what they're talking about, it's a cracking time to play Miss Worm's little advert to see what her channel's all about, because she does lots of work for us. So here's Miss Worm's channel. Please go and check out Miss Worm's channel. I put one on the other day, 30-odd minute reading, just got me through the washing up. It was great to listen to, and it's very addictive and it's relaxing. So make sure you go and check out her channel, show her videos some love. She does a lot for us, and loads behind the scenes that none of you guys know about. But, you know, We won't talk about that. Gatwick Scuba. How about if everyone brings a Go food prep and we done a mass tasting, especially for freeze-dried goods for people who are not sure what to buy? Well, by the next prep meet, Brian will have a freeze dryer, so hopefully he'll be bringing loads of sample of SP73 patented freeze-dried square sausage for us all to try.
I did serve up a few packets of Lorne sausages on the meat. I did serve a few out to people.
You did. I had a sausage sandwich. Yeah, I think your missus got all the credit for that. We didn't even know you were cooking. If I knew you were cooking it, I wouldn't have took it. To be fair, so I mean,
how rude!
I've seen you try and make a Faraday cage. It's not good.
Comedy gold, though.
Irritate says archery demo could be difficult. Could be difficult with a site that's not kind of licensed for stuff like that. It'll be something I look into, but I doubt it would be possible in that. You know, we could have a knife throwing demo maybe if we've got some volunteers. NUFC Nelly, the Bombardier. Perhaps a video on how to correctly choke your chicken, but it may get demonetized.
Please don't do it at the same time as the alien topic in probing. That's how we end up my court case.
You know what? I can't wait, mate, to the next one now. The next prep meet, I'll have loads of people coming up to me saying, "Oh, Andy, about UFOs," and that'll be the meet for me. I'll start talking about UFOs with everyone.
Do you know, it's a subject I like as well, to be honest. All kidding aside, I read up a lot of that shit.
Oh,
we did a jokey fireside, a UFO one, didn't we? It was quite a while ago now. We did a jokey one, but it kind of got quite serious and talking about it. So I think we've all had like little experiences. So Barry's in a power cut at the moment. So
get the power bank out.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, incidentally,
authentic.
I am not sponsored by EcoFlow or Anchor. I don't know how many fucking people asked that. Nothing. Not one have I been given anything. So, no, I am not sponsored.
Brian, was it onion slice, though, or was it the farm foods pish?
No, it was all fresh.
There we go.
It was Butcher's lawn.
There we go. Only the best to try and poison us with.
Mrs. Scottish Prepper 73 wishes Brian was sponsored by EcoFlow and Anchor.
Well, he only paid $10 for them, remember, guys. He only paid $10 for them.
Yeah, and that's 6 inches.
Right, I think that's it. We've run out of time. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to my panel. Barry, any final thoughts and goodbyes to everyone?
No, again, great time at the Scottish Prepper Meet. Looking forward to seeing everybody at the next one. Thank you to everybody who's turned up in the chat tonight. Been some interesting comments, and thanks again for you guys for having me.
Excellent. Brian, any final thoughts and goodbyes for the peoples?
No, not really, mate. Just I genuinely enjoyed the meet. There was no airs and graces. I'll hopefully see a few more of you at the Midlands Prepper Meet, so that should be pretty good.
I like how you said there's no airs and graces, like you have airs and graces anyway. Anywhere else.
Ew. I'm a man of culture, don't you know?
On that note,
You uncouth yob.
Any final
Oik.
thoughts, Andy, and your goodbyes?
Yep. So the Scottish meet, mate, was great. Well done, Mike, as well, mate, for setting it up and getting the first one off the ground. Well done, mate. Like I said, mate, it was great meeting everyone. Everybody was sound. Can't wait for the next one next year. And like Brian said, mate, I'll if anyone's there at the Midlands one in beginning of August, I'll see you there. Come say hi.
Excellent. And from me, don't forget, guys, this is your channel. This is your network. These are your meets. Anything you want to see, message me, message any one of the guys, have a conversation with us. We're all learning from each other. This whole experience is not about numbers. It's not about getting clicks and likes. It's about a community helping each other. So if you can get involved and you can help other people as well, send me a message. We can either do a video, we can do something at meet, whatever you want to do, just come and get involved. Don't be shy. Only Brian bites. Thanks very much, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
See you all.
Round the fire, warm and bright, stocked up food for the night. Got our plans set in gold. for the days when it's cold. Tools and gear stacked up high in the cabin we reside, listening to the winds howl, prepping for the morning's prowl. At the purpose fireside we stay, ready for that fateful day. Stories shared and hearts alight, round the fire every night. Water stored in jugs and tins, bunkered down through thick and thin. Maps and routes all drawn and laid, preppers live unafraid. At the preppers fireside we stay, ready for that fateful day.